Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League. I am your host, Mike. With me, as always, is my friend Andrew. And this week, because it's freaking hot here for like one day, maybe two, unprecedented heat for us, we're going to be breaking down the AFC East. So
where
welcome
it gets really
in.
cold.
Yeah, where for some reason I associate that being colder than where we are. It is Wednesday, July 30th. We're going into the August long weekend for us, where I'm hoping to have good weather, but it looks like it's going to start raining as of Saturday morning. Yay!
30 degrees and rain.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that. I will gladly take 30 degrees and rain just to have some of that heat and sunshine, or heat at least, because it's been cold and rainy.
You could be in the backyard in a pool right now.
It could be. My wife is.
See, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably nice and relaxed and cooled off.
Oh, yeah. Crappy day at work. Sun's still out. It's hot. She's floating in the pool. And I'm down here slumming it with you boys.
There you go.
Because this is where my passion and my heart is.
Don't tell her that.
No, definitely not. She won't be happy. All right. So here's some football news, boys. The Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson was extended on a 4-year, $52 million contract. Congratulations, Jake. Broncos wide receiver Cortland Sutton got a big extension, 4 years, $92 million, but only 41 of it guaranteed. I think that's as the Cortland Sutton owner, it makes me feel good. At least this year, next year, I can get some value with him and Bo Nix as they look to find their new number one replacement. Sad news, Titans have waived wide receiver Treylon Burks, who broke his collarbone in practice. Yeah. Good luck to you, Treylon. First-round draft pick. Sucks. Bengals have released running back Zach Moss. No surprise there, but no loyalty either.
Fourth stringer?
Yeah, he was good for them in a short stint. And then in other news, this is injury news. We'll kind of unpack some of this. Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is having surgery to fix a broken bone in his foot and will likely be out for a few weeks. And then you brought up Justin Jefferson is experiencing some hamstring issues.
Yes.
So that's not exciting. He's hoping to be back for week 1. We've got Matt Stafford with some back soreness. He is considered week to week. That is concerning if you have anybody over there in Rams land.
But he's had that back injury for years and years.
Yeah, but he's aging, so it's not going away as easily as he once did.
True.
What else we got going on in the injury land? Joe Mixon is having issues with foot injury as well. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Not sure what that's going to look like for him. And then Darnell Mooney injured his shoulder and is going to be out for quite some time, several weeks at least.
And
crappy.
And Malik Neighbors from the Giants.
I'm not seeing him on the injury report.
Oh, it was a leg or foot injury that they had reported. It was in the same article that I read about Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, not seeing anything hitting the news here.
Oh, okay.
Well, Juwan Jennings is also hurting. His pocketbook's a little empty, so he's showing up to practices saying, ow, it hurts, pay me, and it'll go away.
Yes. On a positive note, I was also reading an article for those of you who actually like this guy. Anthony Richards, I guess, is balling out in practice.
Is he?
He's been having
Anthony Richardson.
Camp. Yeah.
I ask because I'm in the middle of my guillotine draft. It is round 6. I'm at the end of the round. Anthony Richardson is one of 2 starting quarterbacks left because this is a 2-quarterback league. It's Aaron Rodgers and Anthony Richardson's quarterbacks 31 and 32. And I don't have a second quarterback because I really didn't want either one of them. And I figured I'd just spend some of my luscious money. So Anthony Richardson, quarterback competition remains close. This is today. This was announced. The Colts quarterback competition in training camp between Richardson and Daniel Jones remains tight. On that subject, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN.com reports that coach Shane Steichen calls the ongoing job battle neck and neck. After what Zach Kiefer of The Athletic describes as sloppy starts in training camp from both signal callers, he notes that Richardson was sharper during the team's first 2 padded practices while displaying improved accuracy on his throws in that span. Ultimately, Steichen has indicated that a decision on who will draw the Week 1 start will come down to consistency, both in terms of preparation and performance, and it figures to be some time before the call is made. Oh, so he's not even the guaranteed starter right now? Yucky.
No, but I mean, if he keeps being consistent, he will be.
Yucky. Yeah, my sleeper is grabbing Joe Flacco a bit later. Hopefully, he becomes the starter for the Browns.
Well, if they're truly wanting to finish last,
if they want to finish last, then I'm sure it'll be that somebody else.
That Shedeur guy.
It could be Shedeur, or it could be that other Dylan something. Excuse me, that other kid they drafted, Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. All right. Well, that's neither here nor there. So let's jump into the actual AFC West breakdown. We're going to talk about how they did last year, what we think they're going to do this year, and then pick our best fantasy lineup from this division. Now, not a super strong division, pretty weak overall. Buffalo dominated. They went 13-4 last year. Miami went 8-7. They struggled to get those wins. The Jets went 5-12, and the Patriots fell into 3rd and 15. So not fantastic, not awesome. And looking at the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen is amazing and awesome, but I can't name you another player on that team that is super fantasy relevant. Like
other than Cook.
James Cook didn't have great rushing numbers. He had great touchdowns.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, if you get 2 touchdowns a game,
yeah.
That's not bad. But you're right. They didn't really do anything in the offseason to make themselves a lot better. I think they just looked at the rest of the division and said, we can beat them all. We'll win the division. Mm-hmm. We'll make the playoffs. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. And we can worry about it in the second half of the season if we got to go after a wide receiver or another running back or what have you. They may have just said, hey, why should we go spend a bunch of money when we know we'll win the division with the talent we've got?
Yeah, but winning the division is one thing. Getting past the next couple layers of playoffs, that's why you pay quality players.
But their thought might be, hey, we'll pick up somebody at the trade deadline that can push us over the hump. We just got to win the division and get in the playoffs. And then if we stack the team at the trade deadline
on a budget, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing what we know about these teams and the transformations that they have gone through.
Yes.
Do you feel confident you can predict or project their finish this year?
Yeah, the only team that I see in that conference or that division that really did anything in the off season to make themselves better is New England. Miami, they've got an aging wide receiver room.
And a concussion case for a quarterback.
Yeah. And did they do anything to, let's see here, Miami?
You know what? Maybe
they didn't get a wide receiver in the draft.
No. Let's do this. Let's change it up compared to how we've done it previously. Let's look at their rosters, identify some changes, and then circle back to how we think they're going to finish in the division. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to move some things around here in our show doc. I'm just going to add this down here now at the bottom. And then this way we can talk about the Buffalo Bills. Their starters. As of right now, the starters are Josh Allen, great quarterback. Everything, there's no doubt about it. Top 5 guaranteed. Running back James Cook, good but not great. And there was the off-season kind of issues where he was demanding a high salary contract, didn't get it. Needs the touchdowns to be super awesome. So I think he's a top. I think he's a running back 1, but on like the back end, right? So he's like the
10 to 15.
Yeah, he's in that range. Wide receiver Khalil Shakir and second-year wide receiver Keon Coleman are your passing targets. That none of that screams wide receiver 1.
No.
And then Dalton Kincaid, who had a off season last year because he was marred with injury and couldn't get chemistry going. And how did they spend their draft picks? They drafted tight end Jackson Hawes in round 5 and wide receiver Caden Prather in round 7. So they focused on defense and offensive line.
Yeah, well, I mean, offensive line, maybe that helps Cook. Opens some more holes. Or even Josh Allen if he wants to run it again. But I just, I don't think the team really did a lot. Didn't make a splash. Right?
No. Still going to be good, though.
I think they took a step back, but we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. I agree. I don't think they're going to be as... I think they'll win the division. I don't think they are going to be the crazy, ridiculous powerhouse that they were in the past. All right. Number 2 on this list, Miami Dolphins. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Running back Devon Achane. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle. Newly acquired out of retirement tight end Darren Waller.
Yes.
And they only spent around 6 on running back Ollie Gordon III and QB Quinn Ewers, who's a secret favorite of yours, in round 7.
Yes. Again, you didn't do anything to help yourself. Other than at the quarterback position, because when his melon gets crushed again, Ewers, however you say it, can step in and take over and finally take over. Achane, again, he's too small for the league. You saw it last year. He was hurt a few times.
He's great when he's healthy, though. Like, this is a kid who's really explosive, can do some amazing things.
Yes.
But you've got aging and last year injured Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle, who I don't know if he knows he plays football. It seems like he has a massive disappearing act. And maybe that's him or maybe that's the offensive scheme. But Tua needs to go back to the way he used to throw that ball to make these guys great again. But it looks good on paper, but we know what this team can do.
Yeah, they have a decent ceiling because if Hill, kept it in his pants and focused on football instead of making babies, and stayed healthy, and Waddle stayed healthy, they could light it up. They could, but their floor is also really, really low because if those two guys go down at the same time, who's next? Nobody.
Okay. Can I tell you an interesting story, an observation I made? I'm in the middle of my guillotine draft. We're in round 6. It's approaching the end of round 6. This is a 2 quarterback. There's 18 teams, by the way. 2 quarterback, 2 running back, 4 wide receiver, 2 tight end. It's tight end premium, full PPR. So there's a lot of points to go around. And the drafting choices of some people is really curious. One team in particular is going high risk. And I would love to share his team with you. And how far back do I have to go to be able to see his disaster? Where is he? Right here. Okay, so in round 1, he went Joe Burrow at 108. Okay, cool, man. That's a solid choice.
Quarterback. Again, that's a big risk because he does have a history of injuries.
Stay with me. So coming back in round 2, he picks up Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Okay. So round 2,
Okay.
211, because Christian McCaffrey does come with some risk after last year's Achilles issues. Okay. Round 3, he picks up Tyreek Hill. Okay. Round 4, he picks up Tua Tagovailoa. It gets better. In round 5, he picks up Rashee Rice, who's probably going to miss some time to start the season.
And has trouble staying healthy.
Round 6, Quinshon Judkins, who hasn't signed his rookie round tender and was just arrested for assault and battery. Like, I'm not sure if this guy, like, he's been in this league for a long time. I know he's like he's survived a lot. I'm just interested in seeing how the rest of his team shapes up. Like, I know it's not auto drafting. I know he's picking these players. It's like, where are you going with this, man? Like, this is interesting choices you're picking here.
He's gonna change his team name to
Broken.
the ambulance team.
Oh,
or the emergency room crew or something.
Oh, something broken and busted.
Yeah.
Right, because you're going to jail because you're busted, and you're broken because you're oft injured. Oh, good times.
Yes.
It's just interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Okay. New York Jets. They got new coaching staff. They made a quarterback change. There are some players remaining, but quarterback Justin Fields, acquired from the Bears. Okay, cool.
And didn't you just mention that he's?
Yeah, he had a minor injury, but he's back at practice and he's working. But the risk of aggravating it is the concern. Yeah, I'm not super excited about Justin Fields. I don't think he's going to get reclaimed in New York. Which, does that mean it's going to hurt Breece Hall? Is it going to hurt Garrett Wilson? And then beyond those two, they have Josh Reynolds listed as their wide receiver too. And then rookie tight end Mason Taylor they drafted in round 2. And then wide receiver Arian Smith in round 4. Like, it's not a deep roster. To me, this is a team that's going to rebuild and hopefully find a quarterback of the future somewhere.
Well, and if Justin Fields plays like he did in college, Breece Hall's never going to see the ball because he's just going to run and run and run and run. It's another Josh Allen that I'm just going to run the ball and steal all the touchdowns.
He's not going to check it down. He's going to panic, scramble, throw an interception, throw the ball away. And at least there's only Garrett Wilson. So if you are the Garrett Wilson owner, you have the possibility of a high volume of targets because he's the only target.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson is a great choice for fantasy because that's the only guy that's going to catch anything.
Yeah.
I think the Jets take another step backwards. New coaching, new scheme, new quarterback. You're taking another step backwards, I think.
Yeah. Yuck. All right, and the last team in this division, the New England Patriots, with second-year starter Drake May, who showed some progress. I think this is a kid who has potential for a future. They do have running back Ramondre Stevenson that they give an extension to. They picked up wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who has some of his own issues off the field he's got to deal with, but seems to be at practice and playing. They have wide receiver Demario Douglas, who kind of did some things, and wide receiver Kayshon Boutte. So not a name list that instills confidence, but guys that are still young enough that they could find some connection and potential.
I think your two rookies may be starters before the end of the season.
I think they'll be big contributors for sure. And that would be running back Travion Henderson in round 2 and wide receiver Kyle Williams in round 3. Let's not forget the tight end Hunter Henry, who is very experienced at his role and is a touchdown magnet. So he could be valuable to the team in that area.
Yeah, I think with Drake May getting another year of experience, that I think is going to hurt the running game because as he builds better chemistry with the wide receivers and learns defenses better,
Mm-hmm.
He'll throw the ball more than in the years past than last year. So I think Stevenson might take a step backwards, and Henderson, I think, is a better running back.
They'll probably take the job before the end of the year. Yeah.
I think the Patriots are take a step forward.
Yeah, I agree.
But they're still not quite. I think they're 1 year out still from contending again for the division.
I think they're still battling to get out of the last place spot. I don't think it's guaranteed that they're out. I think New York is going to be a close fourth with them. Like it's going to be Buffalo winning, followed by Miami. Miami's good enough; they'll etch out some wins, more wins than New York and New England. And New York and New England will be battling for last place.
Okay, I don't have it that way, but
okay. Well, let me give you my my actual prediction on this year. Our Buffalo went 13-4. I have them going 12-5 this year. I think they obviously cannibalize their division to get a lot of those wins, and then they manufacture some wins outside the division. I think Miami takes a step back. Instead of going 8-7, they go 7-8. I don't have them as being over 500. I think this is a team that's going to struggle this year, even healthy. New York Jets, I don't think they make an improvement at all. They went 5-12 last year. I think they remain at 5-12. I think they, at best, this is my. I don't think they can get more than 5 wins. I think they're 5 wins or less. And then New England, I think New England has made some changes. I think there's some good things going on there outside of another coaching change. This is an opportunity that this team is going to capitalize on. Hey, we had some good things going. We're developing. Let's keep that momentum going. And I have them going to 5-12.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I got the Bills falling a little bit even further back.
Ooh, okay.
I got them at 11-6.
11-6, okay.
Yep. I've got the Dolphins. Because their ceiling to me could be higher. I actually had them at 9-7.
Okay.
Just again, like if everybody stays healthy, like you said earlier, on paper, this team should this team could probably put up 50 points a game, or they'll put up 10 points a game. They're going to be a feast or famine team. So I think that's where they will. I think they will, destroy teams like the Jets, and if they play the Giants, and if they have a softer schedule, that's where they're going to steal some wins. I got the Jets falling all the way back to 4-13. And I think I'm being generous on that one. I mean, I have no faith in anything that's going on there other than Garrett Wilson. I don't see anything else on that team. And I got the Patriots jumping up to 7-10.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah. I think toward the end of the year, they just started looking more consistent. Maybe they weren't getting the wins, but they were looking more consistent and more organized. And like I said, with Henderson and Williams coming into the fold, I think it's going to be a big step forward for them. Like, I think they take both wins from the Jets, a win from Miami, possibly a win from Buffalo.
Oh, steal that win.
Well, first game of the season, early their first matchup, and then Buffalo adjusts the second time they play them and stuff like that. But I think there's the chance there that they're gonna surprise some people, I think, this year. Yep.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I like it. I think you're too optimistic for Miami, personally, and I think it's going to come down to: is it Miami and their play style from last year, or is it a Miami and the play style from 2 years ago? Because they had two very different offensive schemes and how they ran the ball, and I'm not sure if it was like a way to protect Tua from his injury and concussions, or if it what it was. But how they played last year was not the team that can win games.
Like that year, you're right. That 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when HN was a rookie, and he was busting off like 50-yard runs, a few times a game. and they had Mostert as their second running back,
And he was doing it.
and he was doing it too. Hill stayed healthy. Waddle stayed healthy. Like they were pushing Buffalo for the division that year. And you're right. If that's the team that comes out this year, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the team that was last year, you're right. They could have a 4-13 record. You know, if like I said, if both those wide receivers go down at the same time, what do they have?
Nothing. They got nothing. Okay. Well, now that we've gotten to this stage, let's talk about our best fantasy lineup from this division. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and flex play. I've already made my selections. I've covered them up in black so you can't see them. Not that I think it's going to be extremely different from yours. QB1. Is it Josh Allen?
Yes.
Yeah, it's no question there. I don't think I could argue anybody else.
Again, if the only other way somebody gets a ton of points is if Tua has another crazy year like he did 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
and I don't even think he'd probably get within 50 points of Allen in that case instead of maybe 150 points.
Okay, I think even in a good year, I don't think Tua is going to be able to beat Allen.
No, that's why I said like he'd only get within about 50 points of Allen. So
all right, running back. It could be argued there's some choices here. I went with James Cook because I think he's the more stable running back, as opposed to say Devon Achane, who could be the guy, but I don't have that level of confidence in Miami to let him be that guy.
No, I've got Cook as well.
Okay, James Cook, wide receiver. I don't like a lot of the wide receivers in this league, in this division. Buffalo's got a nobody. Miami's got two names that are recognizable, but then you got Garrett Wilson for the Jets, and then I'm not trusting Stephon Diggs or Demario Douglas or Kayshon Boutte. It's like those guys are still yet to have proven they can do it. So if I'm thinking of a guy who could do it, I'm going to go with a guy who has done it with his team with familiarity, and I'm going to go Tyreek Hill.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And my reasoning is even injured without Tua Tagovailoa and even his own injuries, this is a guy who still finished top 20.
Yeah.
So if that's what I'm going to get out of Tyreek Hill, I'm going to put money on him being the best receiver in this division.
I went a different direction. I went with Wilson, only because he's the only wide receiver on the team. He's going to get the touchdowns, I think. Outside of their running game, he has everything to that team. It worries me with Justin Fields as the quarterback, but I still think Wilson will get his touches.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Tight end. I went with tried and true Hunter Henry. He was a touchdown machine for them last year. I don't believe in Darren Waller. Like, come on. And then Dalton Kincaid, maybe, but I don't know what's going to happen there. And then my other option is rookie Mason Taylor with Justin Fields as a quarterback. Sorry, that's a big no.
That's actually where I went.
Really? You went You went Mason Taylor.
Yes, I'm going out on a limb for the guy. I don't know. I think it's more of a war of attrition. I don't like the other three even more. I don't have confidence in any of them.
I think you're not going to have big blow up games for Hunter Henry. I think he'll be slow and steady. He'll finish top 10.
He'll get you 10 or 11, maybe 10 or 11.
No, I don't think he'll get you 10 every week. I think his top end will get you 10, and then he'll average something considerably lower. Give me a second here. I was going to pull up Hunter Henry and see what his stats were last year.
Sure. I'll start with my flex. My flex guy, and oddly enough, my last three guys are all Jets. My flex guy is the only running game in New York. I went with Hall.
You went with Breece Hall.
I worry about his injuries, and I worry about Justin Fields stealing runs from him. But Hall still has that explosiveness where he can break off big chunks.
Okay, well, I went Garrett Wilson.
Okay,
I think Garrett Wilson will be a target hog. I think he'll have more points than Breece Hall by the end of the year.
Probably. You're probably right. But I had Wilson as my wide receiver, so
yeah, you can't put him in twice, man.
No.
Okay, and here's Hunter Henry from last year. He finished number 12 in our league. His highest scoring game was week 2 against Seattle. He had 14.9 points. His lowest scoring game was 1.9, and he did that twice. So his average point, because he was 2 points, 14, 1 point, 2 points, 4 points, 11 points, 13 points, 7 points, 9 points, 1.9. He's on the field 80% of the time.
Yes, he does get
games
that.
where he's averaging, like, he's less than 5 targets, he scores low. If he gets more than 5 targets, he scores high. He was not a touchdown machine last year. He only got 2 touchdowns. Okay. Yeah, I'm still going to stick with it though. I think I'm relatively safe.
You know, he would be the number 2 in the division.
Okay.
But I just, like I said, this whole division is outside of Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crapshoot for everybody else in the whole division. There is nobody that in the division that just stands out as a superstar. Like it seems like every other division has 2 or 3 really good players that you're thinking, oh my God, I want that guy on my team. This division does not scream that. I know you said like Tyreek Hill should still be a top 7-8 wide receiver.
No, I'd say he's a startable wide receiver, but he'll disappear, and those are weeks that'll suck.
Yes. His biggest mistake was leaving Kansas City. I'm sorry, and I'll say that out loud, that he should not have left Kansas City. I know he was going for the limelight of Miami and the
money and
the money and
tax
the potential.
Free. Yeah.
Well, the potential, Miami back then, the potential was high, but that window closed real fast.
Yeah. Oh, what could have been?
Yes.
All right. Well, that does bring us to the end of this week. It is a long weekend. You got any plans? Anything fun and exciting you're doing? You're going to hide from the sun somewhere? You're going to crack some beers and do some barbecuing?
Well, if it doesn't rain like crazy, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
That is always the threat. That is. Well, I'm hoping to get some sun, some beers, have a good time. On another note, thank you very much for sharing the great and glorious news that Jersey Mike's is opening up a franchise here in the city of Edmonton. I'm very excited for that. When you said that to me, I sent it to Karen, and she's just like, "So what? Big deal." And I was like, "Oh, my wife, you just don't know how good this thing will be for us when it comes."
They just need to get them more than on the north end. They need to get some on the south side and the west end. And
some interesting locations where they are opening up. Whatever. Hey, you're there. I wish them all the best. And yes, to start spreading around, like the Chick-fil-A when they opened up. They had the one location, and now there's one in every neighborhood.
Yeah, we're getting one just down the street from us. So
yeah, it's very exciting. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It has been an honor and a privilege hanging out with you this week and telling you some great and wonderful injury stories. I'm enjoying this draft. Aaron Rodgers just went, so there's only one quote unquote starting quarterback left, and that would be Anthony Richardson. He's the last one left in this draft to select. Guys that I'm looking at, just so you know, my team is currently Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Kyler Murray, James Conner, DK Metcalf. There is one pick, and then it's me. And currently on the board, there is Joe Mixon, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony Pollard, Chris Godwin, Brian Robinson, Tyrone Tracy, Ricky Pearsall, Jacoby Myers, Colston Loveland, Matthew Golden. Those are the guys that are listed here at ADP.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going Jacoby Myers. I want to get the wide receiver one for that team. I realize the top target is probably Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
But Jacoby Myers at this stage of the game should be helpful to me. And then depending on, because I'm in the 16 spot, so there are 4 picks after me, and it's right back. And then I got to select. The teams after me do not have tight ends. I don't have tight ends. There's not a lot of tight ends left.
Wow.
Both teams have quarterbacks, so I do not anticipate either of them selecting another quarterback because there's only 3 bench spots. So locking in a player at this stage of the game, not a good idea. They each only have 1 running back, though. So I anticipate them each selecting at least 1 running back, maybe a tight end at this stage. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that I get the best of this tier group of wide receiver before it really falls off a cliff. And then
you might have a struggling year this year.
How do you figure?
Well, if you don't get a second quarterback and it's a 2-quarterback league.
Okay, look, the second quarterback is going to generate between 10 to 20 points, I think, at best. Okay, so some of your second quarterbacks, some of these guys are doing. What I'm focusing on is, you know what? I'm punting my tight end premium positions and my quarterback flex position, and I'm going to pick up the guys that these guys are missing out on to build a more solid roster, survive a couple weeks, and use my fab to pick up the quarterbacks and tight ends that will be lost by players, right? So if I have a better, stronger core and my depth is not as great, I'll fill in my depth. Where if these guys kind of thin everything out.
So your second quarterback doesn't have to be a quarterback. It could be another player.
It can be anything. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end. And
okay. If you end up with 3 really good wide receivers, they'll pick up. He could potentially pick up the same as your quarterback anyway. Then
could very well could. There's also a secret that I have in this league that nobody else seems to have picked up on. Even the organizer, right? The commissioner of this league doesn't follow this particular rule. So at the end of the draft, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, 7, 8. The first 6 I have are guaranteed 10 points or plus on a weekly basis. These are the guys that are the primary kick returners for their teams, both punt return and kick return. Those yards count as if they are rushing yards.
Okay.
So when you've got your wide receiver 2 in a team who's making, say, 9 points, and my kick returner is making 15 to 20, people don't really acknowledge that. So that's how I've learned to survive the first few weeks. Is my last couple rounds is I'll grab those guys to fill in my bench and my flex. And then I'm happy to punt them as I need to. So that's why I'm confident that I can punt my tight end position and punt the second quarterback and wait for someone to become reasonably priced and available on the waiver market. That's my strategy. Don't tell anyone. Okay.
I'm going to join that league and I'm going to steal it.
I'm not inviting you to this league. Nope. I am not going to invite you because now you know. All right, guys. Next week when we get back together, we're going to be doing the last of the AFC, and that will be the AFC North. Your Ravens, your Bengals, your wife beaters. I mean, your Cleveland Browns and your Steelers. Yeah. I won't be wearing my wife white tank top.
Unless it's this hot.
Unless it's this hot again for that division, just because. All right. Enjoy your weekend, gentlemen. From one poor man to another. Remember, if it's not fun, it is not worth doing. Good night, everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.